Should I call you Zach, like out loud, or
Yeah, Zach
just call you
works. You
nerds?
can call me Snack Daddy. You can call me whatever you want. Cause guess what? We are live. Haha. Look at that
Oh my
handsome devil.
god!
Oh my god.
Oh
Look
my!
at me up there in the corner.
Oh, you're super small in the corner, man.
I
Now everyone gets to see like all that I am.
well,
Oh boy.
any talk show, it's about the guest, not the host.
Well,
So
I'm glad that I gelled my hair up a little
spruced up
bit,
the
and
hair.
now I look. Yeah, dude. I wanted to do that. Make sure that I'm looking spiffs.
Looking fly, as they say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Well, hello, chat. It is 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, which you know what that
Sticks
means.
apocalypse to thick.
Yes, thank you. It's time for our thrilling, engaging chat with Soul So Breezy. What makes you so breezy, Soul?
Why you got right into it? What makes me so breezy?
Yeah.
I'm chill, dude. That's what I do. No matter how heated the conversation gets, no matter how crazy the topic is, no matter how polarized things might get, I'll always try to take a look at it and in a balanced-ish sort of way, and otherwise try not to get overly excited about it. Just keeping it chill, keeping it breezy. That's what I do.
Keeping it chill, keeping it breezy. So, what did you do before you kept it chill and breezy?
Oh, I got mad and I got in fights every day. I was like, keeping it right. No, I wasn't doing that. Before I started doing this stuff, around that time, I was working in quality assurance at Sony Entertainment America over here in California, and I was doing that for about 5 years. So I was doing all the game testing, and I was even a lead. So I was during the later part of my tenure there, I was watching people play the games, and I'm just kind of like, okay, great job, and it was cool. It was a cool job that really helps with getting your feet wet into the industry. For those at home that are interested in that sort of thing, usually that's kind of the first thing that you get into with game testing, because that way you get to know developers, designers, you get to know the people that are already in there. So that way, if you are interested in programming, engineering, artistry, journalism, that is one way to help you get in there, as long as you get that sort of access. So it was just a lot of fun, and now I do this. Woo!
Ooh. So, do you have any kooky stories from the quality assurance days?
Oh yeah! Oh,
Gi-
tons,
give us your
tons.
give us your favorite, your highlight.
I signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't
Ah,
really
son of a. Is
talk
it?
about much of anything. I can
Good
I
old NDA. We can bitch
Yeah.
about NDAs. I hate
Oh
them
yeah. I just gotta turn off my mic, and then I can just mouth off like for
forever.
long minutes about that. Oh
There
yeah,
you
absolutely.
go.
That's the unfortunate thing about being on the inside, is that none of that stuff really comes out as juicy as some of this stuff might be. So like some of those big AAA games, like that poster behind you. Oh, I got stories
You
that I
got
can't
stories.
tell. Yeah, that I can't ever tell. It's mostly good stories.
At the look.
Some of them, yeah. It's like just to remind you, you are in fact in your home office. Yeah,
Yes.
I guess that's what we should call it.
It's
Okay. I
technically
think.
my bedroom. You can't see my bed, but yeah.
Well, you know what? Technically, I'm in my home office as well. Yeah. So I
Spicy.
got you there.
Spicy. So
We good like that.
we good like that. So you've been doing a lot of beta videos. Haven't been touching a lot of live lately. Is the beta shit? Because that's what I'm starting to hear a lot of.
Shit. Certain elements were shit. I mean, like when I got into the alpha, like I went in and there were certain cool things about it that immediately caught me. Like I was barely crashing and disconnecting, and realms were like fairly stable. So it's kind of testament to how stable Blizzard is able to keep their stuff while doing the testing. But is it shit now? I think that it just depends on what class you are, depending on like this whole thing with the global cooldown change, and which we might talk about later. But there's so many little elements going on that make it kind of shit, right? Like if like how's that perception go? Like most of the time, people are complaining about something, and if that's all that you're hearing, then your perception is going to be, wow, this game is totally shit. Everyone's complaining about it. And wow, it's such a big game that there's always someone talking smack about something. And typically that sort of negativity tends to overshadow some of the more positive talk. And that's what that's what I try to present. Not so much, oh my god, this is like the greatest shit ever. Like I'm creaming my pants over this stuff, and anyone that's naysaying it, F them forever. It's not like that, but I try to present things in a more neutral light and be like, hey, this part isn't cool, but let's talk about this and discuss what could be going on here or what we can do to make it better. So in short, no, it's not shit, but there are the story has yet to be written. Once we get to live and we see the whole timeline of did Blizzard respond to this, or did they respond poorly to this? That's what it's those things piecemeal that I'm going to be analyzing and taking a look at to be like, they fucked up there. Oh my god, what were they thinking?
No, the one thing I'm starting to hear a lot is there's not a lot of hype around Battle for Azeroth right now. I mean, you go on Twitch, let's say, the top streams for World of Warcraft aren't beta streams. They're Entorus runs, viewer runs, stuff like that. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because there is such an easy saturation of coverage for the alphas and betas and stuff, especially because they're public. Anyone has access to this stuff, and I think a good chunk of it comes from not the monopolization, because we all kind of share this information, but big sites like MMO Champion, Wowhead, that sort of thing, they cover pretty much all that you need to know about the expansion. And from there, people will come to their own minds and other such things. When it comes to like streams and stuff, I think people are going not exactly for the coverage. They're going for like that particular person because maybe they want to know what they think about that sort of thing, or those fans just have more access to that particular person, so they'll ask them. Like some people will ask me, hey, can you take a look at like arcane mages and see what's going on with that? And I'll be like, wow, okay, cool, I don't know dog shit about arcane mages, but sure, I'll go ahead and show you a few minutes of me getting my ass beat. But it just feels like there's just a lot of saturation when it comes to that, and not a lot of actual playing stuff, unlike something like Fortnite, where it's entertaining to watch. That's really what it is. I think it's just that beta stuff is not what I would consider super exciting, unless it's the streamer or the person that you're talking to, that it's like, okay, I just want to be there for them. As for the hype, though, see how long it takes me to answer questions and shit. That's
okay. That makes you hype, awesome.
Yeah, I love running the clock. Absolutely. As for a hype, dude, this game's fucking old. You don't need to hype WoW. I mean, you need to remind people of, hey, you know what? There's an expansion coming out.
Is it called Classic?
There is. Yeah. So I mean, things like that. You just gotta remind people, hey, you know what? This is happening, and just those whispers alone, as much as people don't pay too much attention to that, it moves and shakes things, because you'll see big news sites talking about, oh wow, the WoW expansion has gone into beta, and you'll see news about that going about. That's not even something that Blizzard has to make commercials about. It's been long past, and rest in peace, Vern Troyer. It's been long past the point where we need to make huge blasts of Warcraft commercials, or at least it doesn't have to be that long in order to remind people, oh right, that game's still around. Oh shit. So that's my take on it.
No, that makes sense. I do miss those commercials though, especially Mr. T one, Night Elf Mohawk.
That shit was classic.
Oh yeah,
That
it
was classic. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, dude, this game is fucking blowing up. We're getting all sorts of like hokey ass commercials coming up.
We're
But I
getting
love
Mr.
it.
T.
With a Night Elf Mohawk. Oh man, that was awesome.
I wish you could get those Night Elf Mohawk grenades again, or just give
That's
Night
right.
Elf Mohawks. Yeah, there was an in-game item.
There was an in-game item. I remember that where you threw a grenade, all of a sudden everyone in the vicinity
Turned
would get
into
would get mohawked and all that.
Yeah, they'd be Night Elfed and Mohawked, if I remember right.
I'm waiting for the anniversary holiday thing where, okay, cool, we can wear the glasses and stuff, but I'm also waiting for the damn mohawk grenade to come back, at least for like an event, like a 2-week holiday thing. Cool, let's bring it back. Let's have a little bit of fun with it.
Right. No, that'd be awesome. Speaking of holidays, what's your favorite WoW holiday?
Favorite WoW holiday.
It can be a micro holiday too. So you got plenty of options.
You know what? I haven't done any of the micro holidays. Like I'd be like,
That's
oh,
fair.
micro holiday, cool. But then it was like last week. Okay, you know what? Favorite holiday, period. Trial of Style. Absolutely. It's the best
Yes.
holiday ever because it is the time where, well, one, I can save so much gold by not having to worry about changing my transmog for like a week or so. And that's huge.
Yeah.
I've spent like tens of thousands of gold just like swapping out outfits during a raid or something stupid like that.
Oh,
But-
absolutely.
But I really do like how the Trial of Style it gets some social media attention too, because people are like, oh dude, I won the Trial of Style, check this shit out, and yeah, this is what I wore when I won the thing, even though I was naked and the theme had nothing to do with what I'm wearing, but it's awesome. So that was cool. That's always been fun. And even I was getting into it with like doing little contests and promotions for just showing off some transmog. Transmog is like one of the best things that came to WoW. So
I'll agree
I'm
with
all
that.
up on that.
I RP'd on Moonguard for about a year, and transmog was key. You had a shit
Oh,
mog,
I bet.
everyone outcasted you. But,
So what did you do on Moonguard?
Oh man, you want juicy roleplay story?
This is your show, man. You can,
Oh, man.
you can tell whatever
I'll
story you
keep
want.
it short. I'll say, I was the Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad. I was Saul Goodman of Moonguard. I was like everyone's criminal attorney, but I also worked for
Wow.
the mafia, so I was super corrupt. So yeah, that's what that was. But so tell us more about you, because I could go on about Moonguard stuff for days. Tell us about you. What videos are you working on right now? Anything you can talk about?
Shit, what am I working on? So I did a promo where I asked a whole bunch of people, hey, ask me questions and then I'll answer them in a week or two in the video. And little did I know that I ended up shooting like a little over 3 hours of footage. I was like, wow, this was a terrible idea. What the fuck was I thinking? So
that is a lot of footage.
yeah, so I released 2 episodes. I'm gonna have another one coming out tomorrow. So there's that. But there's so many small projects that I'm working on. Like I'd say in the next couple of hours, I'm going to release like a full statement on how I feel about the global cooldown stuff, strictly in relation to protection paladins, because I wanted to keep it really laser focused, because I think
Right,
that's the most
right.
useful way to talk about it. There's the weekly coming up in a few days, so I need to shoot a gag, and start talking mess about the news. There's
Will Bob be there?
Maybe if I feel like it.
If he's
Or
free
as-
from the cave?
Yeah, if that little bear dog thing that keeps him trapped lets him out and all that. God, what else is there? And I'm just talking about this week. There's the Q&A. There's a Q&A that's going on tomorrow with
there
with
is.
Ian and Laura. There is. Oh my
If only my
god.
beta worked. Oh,
Yeah, so there's that going on tomorrow. So I'm gonna be watching that and probably doing a quick reaction thing that hopefully won't take half an hour to do, or that won't be like a half an hour of me rambling. Hopefully I'll bring it down to like 25 minutes or something like that. And that's just this week. So I keep myself pretty damn busy.
that's what I like to hear. It's good to stay busy though. So let's talk. All right,
All
about
right.
the most hype thing that people seem to be for, and that's classic. It's the vanilla ice cream that you would put on these wonderful Chips Ahoy. We're not
Bring
sponsored.
that back.
We're not sponsored, but if only.
Chunky Chips Ahoy, please. Chunky next time, okay?
Listen, okay, your PR guy didn't get back to me. All he told me was Chips Ahoy. I asked for the deets, and then
Bob
Bob.
says a lot of things, all right?
I know. But also before we move on, chat. If you have any questions for Soul, drop them in the chat box. I'll be asking them sporadically through our little chat. Anyway, how are you feeling about Classic? Do you even care? Are you looking forward to it? Does it have any appeal?
I have two faces on it. As a just as a lover of WoW and Blizzard and all that stuff, I'm looking forward to it. I think that I think that bringing Classic is a great thing for the community overall. It's going to bring more people together. It's going to make people happy knowing that there is a Blizzard supported version of Classic WoW that's coming in, and I think that's something to appreciate.
Right.
But I don't. I have like I pretty much don't give a shit about playing it because you said earlier that you were a Wrath baby. That's
Yeah.
cool. I played since beta and I played through and I had my experience. And to be honest, my vanilla WoW experience wasn't very good because I was a different kind of person back then. I wanted to approach the World of Warcraft when it was a classic. I wanted to approach it solo. It was just me and like someone I was dating at the time. We were just playing and doing our own thing, and then I broke off on my own, did my own thing, tried group content, wasn't really feeling it, and I just kind of like plodded along. But at the same time, that experience is mine.
Yeah.
And I don't want to rewrite that. I don't want to try to recapture the magic that I hear so many people talk about. I'd rather it seems silly, to some, I'm sure, but I'd rather have that experience that I had, even though it wasn't great. That still is the foundation of where I am today and the kind of person the kind of person and player that I grew to be. But yeah, like back in those days, I played through all the quests, I played through all the classes except for a paladin because I didn't want to roll alliance. So I tried all that stuff out, and I think I've seen everything that I needed to see, and everything else I eventually ended up seeing in like legacy content and or YouTube videos and other such things. So me personally, it's not a big deal. But a good number of guildmates are like, hey, we might give it a try because we never played through it. I'm like, hey, that's great for
Yeah.
people that never played through it. I think it's a cool way to experience the thing that was, like I said, the foundation that made WoW what it is today, whether you like it or not. I think it's something cool to take a look at.
No, definitely. And do you think you've said you've been playing since beta? That's a really long time. That's almost 14 years. Almost.
I got my somewhere back here is that 10-year statue for staying sub like the entire time. Like when I got it, I was surprised because I thought that I could have swore that I lapsed at one point. I was like, holy shit, I got this thing. Wow, this is my loot. This is my loser badge. Hell yeah, I've
Let me,
given Blizzard this much money.
I'm gonna calculate how much money that is. So
15 times what?
it's
15
going. No,
bucks?
you do the 12. It's gonna be 120. That's how many months it was.
Oh, right. No, but no, $15 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Although I think
no,
it was
there's 12
less.
months. You times that by the number of years, and then you time that by 15.
Yeah.
$1,800 just for subs.
Just for subs. You know what? I've spent
I've spent
almost
more
as
on
much
junk.
on. Yeah, I've spent almost as much on like two BlizzCons or something like that. You know, and that's just like a couple of days of goodness and all. But I think that was money well spent. And
Yeah.
then there's some then there's the fact that at one point that's when I got the second account. So there's that. But then
Ooh,
there's also the
second
time. But then
account.
there's all
What's that
yeah.
about? Let's
I
talk.
have a second account. Hey, you know what? It's so much easier when you have a tune just there, and then you can tab over and then post a whole bunch of auctions and stuff. So
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, and then thanks to that, I'm able to now I don't pay anything for my subscriptions, and that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet.
No, that is pretty sweet. That's the dream, some might say. But the WoW token keeps going up, you might be in trouble.
I think I generate anywhere between I still generate anywhere between 5 to 800 grand a month from glyph sales. That's what I do.
Oh,
And then on top of
nice.
that, there's the order hall money. That's pretty damn good. I mean, I suck at it. I know I even made a guide on it. I'm not even following my own freaking guide because I just don't have the time for it. But
Right.
a couple of my guildmates who have full order halls, you know, their accounts filled to the brim with characters. They're I think they make more than I do almost if they're really diligent about it. I'm just not. And so for those who are, props to you guys.
Well played. So,
Well played.
would you say how you play World of Warcraft has changed since you got into content creation? Your rituals of the game, perhaps something like that?
Kind of. There are things that I do less um, because I just don't have time. Content creating it actually takes time. Oh my god, that's crazy. It's as if I have a job.
Nah,
Jesus.
video editing's instantaneous.
Yeah, I just snap my fingers and I should be able to poop out
Boom.
like 3 videos a
Cuts.
day, no
Yeah.
problem. I'm like, you know, yeah, that definitely doesn't happen. Yeah, so I don't play. I play less than I used to. I post auctions a little bit less than I used to, but thankfully, like the guild that I'm in or the guild that I run, we all kind of act the same way too. We show up for raid nights. Sometimes we're around for like some dungeon runs or just to like goof around and hang out, level alts, that sort of thing. Like we're really casual about what we do. So I haven't had to I haven't really had to pay any consequences for how my play schedule has changed thanks to this new work schedule of mine. Um, and at the same time, since I stream a good chunk of the content, since I stream a lot when I'm playing, I can kind of double dip on that too. It's like cool, I
Yes.
can get my dailies done.
Two birds,
Ooh.
one stone.
Exactly.
So take us through the process from idea of a video to posting on YouTube. What's the time turnaround like? What processes do you go through? Because everyone's a little different. Some people just record, not care, toss it on, it'll look garbage. That's my video. And then you have people who do production value, nice hard cuts, nice special effects, and they'll even sit with a green screen right behind them.
No, this isn't real. This is a green screen. You're just seeing a fake background behind me.
Uh,
But
Shower
so
curtain.
yeah, right behind me is the toilet. That's where all the jokes come from, buddy. Um,
Oh,
the the I don't know the process. So it's crazy because I do so many different kinds of videos. I have ones where I freely talk. I have ones that are super heavily scripted. So I'll go with the scripted ones. So usually I do my writing. I do a lot of my writing on the weekends, where I'll take notes. I just sit down at a Starbucks or wherever while my wife goes to yoga. So she exercises while I sit on my ass, and
nice, nice.
I'll try to write something out, and I'll end up stammering something out by like Sunday evening. So that might be like 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours of work. And from there, I'll shoot the audio. I'll stammer on, vomit out whatever it is that I wrote, throw that onto Adobe Premiere, because I use the Adobe suite for what I do.
Nice.
Throw that stuff onto Adobe Premiere, cut the audio, put that onto Adobe Audition, run it through some filters, take that audio, throw it back into Premiere, cut that stuff, segment it off into something that is listenable, and then from there, that's when I start mapping out, okay, what kind of footage am I going to put in the background? And then that's where most of my time is spent. I think a good chunk of my time taking doing videos is when it's like original kind of content, where I'll need to go around like the actual world of Warcraft and take screenshots or get footage of certain places.
Right.
I have to fly there, or I have to like have tunes strategically placed so I can like log out and log back to another tune that's at this location, so I can get this kind of background and that kind of stuff. They're things that people really appreciate, but it takes a lot of time to do. So when it comes to post-production, it could take anywhere from 2 hours if it's easy to 7 or 8 hours if it's a big pain in the butt. And then there are things that I got to do, like sleep and eat and poop and stuff like that.
Who poops?
Well, this is the different chair. If you ever see me on a white chair,
yours is white.
Gotta, depends.
I mean, Golden Throne, man. It's what you want. It's what you need.
I'm working on the whole Iron Throne.
You gotta be careful. There's a lot of bad luck that goes into that one.
Just don't rest your arms on the handrest, and you won't cut yourself.
That's
all the previous kings that have done that. Foolish. Never do that.
Yeah,
it's a bad omen too, I hear.
Oh, I don't know. So let's get a little deeper into who you are. So tell us
deeper.
I'm gonna lightning round some questions at you. All right.
Uh-oh. I think slow though. Come on, man. You're gonna kill me with this one.
It's okay. It's gonna be like, first one: apples or oranges? Go.
Apples.
Console or PC?
PC.
Overwatch or Diablo?
Diablo.
Why?
I suck at FPS. Straight up. I'm not good at shooters. So yeah, that's just my preference. So.
No, that's fair. I'll agree with that. Totally just had one that slipped. What was it? Oh,
I beat the lightning round.
Favorite expansion?
Favorite expansion? Probably Mop.
Mop. Heart of Fear or Siege of Orgrimmar?
Siege.
Do you have tusks?
Yes.
I hate you. Interview over.
Interview's over. Get the fuck out of here. Downvote. Unsub. Okay. Taking back my sponsorship.
Joke's on you. You have to have my sponsorship first.
Oh no.
Rarest mount that you own that drops from a raid.
That drops from a raid.
Yeah, none of those TCG mounts.
I was gonna sport my big Blizzard Bear. Rarest mount that I have probably is the Gul'dan normal mount. The thing with the Infernal that has the toilet around its neck.
The red one?
The toilet. Nah, the green one. The green one that is, I think, normal. The red one is mythic. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite end raid to an expansion?
Shit. Favorite end raid is either the Lich King or Siege of Orgrimmar. I think it's one of those two.
Garrosh or Arthas?
Garrosh.
Okay, so it's Siege. We just answered that.
Maybe. For me, when it comes to answering that, it's the story behind how the end of that raid happened. So
fair enough.
It was some of those stories can get pretty epic and tragic.
We're going off of gaming stuff now, so now it's gonna be real life. Favorite snack?
Yeah. Favorite snack? Ice cream.
What flavor?
Chocolate chip.
Cone or cup?
Fucking the whole Carton. What are you talking about?
Well,
I
no,
guess
when
it's a
you go to
cup.
like the
It's a
ice
big
cream
cup.
place, like do you want a cone or a styrofoam cup?
Oh, I'll take a cup because
Cup
there's
all
more
day.
sugar. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I ain't
it's
gonna waste space with a cone. You
right.
crazy, man.
Favorite TV show.
Double shit. What is my favorite TV show right now? Oh man, that changes so much.
I should have asked. Do you
Uh
watch TV?
I do watch TV, yes. My favorite show.
It can
Oh
be
man.
Netflix. We'll count Netflix as TV.
Netflix is TV, man.
Is it though? People watch it on their TVs, so
I
yeah.
I have to look at my damn queue to even like find out like what the answer to that. Well, okay, what was the okay? I'm trying to think. What was the last thing I watched that was decent? Um, uh, The Defenders was decent. All the Marvel ones were like pretty good.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
They are pretty good. I watched Altered Carbon too, and that was okay. I heard a lot of people talking shit about it because it was based on a book, and the show sucked compared to the book, but I still like it anyway. So fuck
Fair
that.
enough. Moving on. Favorite vacation destination.
Probably BlizzCon.
That's
I
fair.
don't vacation much, so I'd say BlizzCon.
Is BlizzCon work or pleasure?
This year, it's probably going to be more pleasure.
More
Last
pleasure.
year, it was work. Yeah, last
Yeah.
year it was work.
Well, gee, I wonder why it's not like they announced an X-Pac or anything.
Ha ha! Very.
Ah, sarcasm. Um, PvP realms or RP realms?
PvP.
Why?
Haven't done RP realms. I'm accustomed to PvP realms, and I'm a tank. I can handle myself usually.
You're a tank. You would. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Favorite battleground.
Ooh, favorite battleground would probably be Arathi Basin.
Okay. Are you sick of these lightning round questions?
Nope. Keep going.
Oh man, I was running out. Microphone you use. Call my bluff.
Oh wait. Did you ask me
Microphone.
something?
Yeah, microphone you use.
Oh, this one. It's a Yeti Blue Blackout Edition.
Nice. That's actually what mine is too. Let me. Boop.
Oh hey, we're bros.
Yeah, we are.
Cool. And you know what? You know what? Side talk. This little thing is like really cheap. I find it to be so much better than using
The pop filter.
the pop filter. I was gonna say the disc with the arm shit, but same difference.
I got
right?
all my advice from Hazel from Hazel Nutty Games. I watched her
I think-
video.
I think she's awesome.
Oh, she is.
I tried this out though, and I love it.
It
Because
looks
having
much
that arm
less
thing-
intrusive.
Exactly, and the arm thing, it eventually starts to wear out and becomes such a pain in the ass to like readjust. And oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've had to do it a few times.
yeah.
Things you would say to a viewer if you ran into them in a dark alley.
Things that I would say.
Yep. If you were in a dark alley and someone was like, "Soul, I love your YouTube videos," what would you do? Dark alley. It's like 2 a.m.
I'd keep walking. Fuck that, dude.
Dead end. Dead end alley. Only a dumpster you can hide in. Favorite restaurant to go to, fast food or otherwise.
Fast food, probably. There's a place. I guess it's a local place called Jeffrey's. They do like these huge fucking burgers. Nice restaurant. It's a place called Alexander's. They do killer fucking steaks.
Oh man, steak sounds so good, so good. I
I
might make one.
Understand.
Might make one after this.
Now
anything-
I might make one after this.
Oh, stealing my. We'll make it together.
We'll race.
Ain't no race for a nice steak. Anything you want
That's
to say
true,
to
I-
chat?
I want to say thanks for having me, because doing these things, this is only the second time that I've done something like this, and it's fun. I think I'm having fun doing these things where I just chat with folks and take questions. I haven't done my own interview, so you're helping me out by kind of going through these motions with me and all that. So, but as for you, Zach, I wish you the best of success,
Aw.
and that you get a chance to keep doing this again and again and again. Oh,
Aw.
I'm not going to do the same thing because I have to hold the mic down. But
Do you really?
the I am I'm literally using like my I'm holding down my mouse button so I can do this thing
Oh,
just in
nice.
case I don't know something goes on in the back, whatever.
No,
But
fair enough. Fair enough. I'm rolling the dice with the voice activation. Chat, what questions do you have for the lightning round? We'll get back to it. Give them some time to come up with stuff. So, do you do a lot of collabs with people? I know off camera we talked a little bit about one you did, but is that like a common thing you do?
no, it is not a common thing that I do. I'm not very good at being at reaching out. I'm pretty bad. I consider myself pretty shy about most things, so it's a little bit hard to do. But when I did do it, like it was a lot of fun. So uh, like last year, I did a pretty big collaboration with like a whole bunch of smaller channels, some bigger channels. Like Taliesin lent his talents. So did Panzer, and so did a bunch of other YouTubers, including Huruma Red. That's how I pronounce it, not
Hi,
how he
Rumored.
pronounces it.
Hi, Rumored.
Yeah, I say Haruma Red, but whatever.
I think it's tomato.
Yeah, it's okay. But I did a pretty big collaboration, and it was fun because to be honest, I didn't ask for very much at all. I just asked people, hey, I'm going to throw together a Christmas video, and I just want you to reject me, and on cam, just be like, hey, what? Sorry, dude, but I have to like wash my cat's hair or something like that. So it was just a series of that, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, I remember that video.
Yeah. So I plan on doing something not exactly like that, but I do plan to reach out in the next couple months or so because it took me a while to get all that stuff together.
Right.
So I'm going to shoot something fun. So keep an ear open. I might holler at you for a little bit of help because I want to try and get a lot of people on this. This will be an ambitious one, and it might turn out to be like a total piece of flaming dog shit, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hey, that's the best way to do it.
But yeah, I'm trying to get more into doing collaborations and talking with more folks and letting folks know that I'm out there. And at the same time, um, uh, walk the walk when it comes to, hey, I do want to reach out and help the community grow by reaching out to YouTubers, especially ones that are up and coming that want to make their mark, because I think that those folks need a chance to do so, and from that'll empower those folks. That'll empower those folks to try to ride that and see where it could possibly take them. It may or may not work out, but I'm more than happy to help them along the way for the sake of this game that we apparently still like playing.
Yeah, for some reason. It's more of a lifestyle, really.
It's like I have a life. It just revolves around WoW. Most of the time.
It's called mount farming. Leave me alone.
I need to complete my transmog set. It's so important for me.
Oh man, transmog competitions. That's what we should do.
They're fun.
They are. I love transmog. That's why Child Style is probably my favorite holiday too.
The other, I think it was for Halloween. For Halloween, I did a guild event where I was like, okay, whoever wins is going to get a whole shitload of gold, and we're going to see what happens. I had my niece and nephew judge, right, who was going to win, and the winner was a warlock who dueled with someone, and they summoned all their pets, and they just bum rushed the screen. And my niece and nephew were like, whoa, what's that? What's going on? They were like so impressed by it that they made her the winner. I was like, holy crap. And even before that, one person came out with a really cool transmog. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And then the other person came up, and then they used some toy to make themselves look just like them. And so my niece and nephew are like, oh, which one do we choose? I'm like, I don't know, dude. This was way beyond the scope of the rules, but I didn't say that I couldn't do it. So I'm like, choose. they chose the clone. I'm like, oh crap. So it was a lot of fun though. We all had fun doing it. So I love transmog competitions. Those things that those things that aren't the mythic world first race, or
Yeah.
getting a mythic plus 25. Those are all great things to achieve. There's nothing to take away from that. But there are other things that people can think of too that don't necessarily involve having to go through the motions of playing through the game and working themselves up. You can work yourselves up another way and still have a good time too. And that's something that I love celebrating.
No, that's fair. And I think I smell another transmog competition coming up sometime
Uh-oh.
soon from one of us. Not sure who.
From one of us.
Could be both
Since
of us. There we go. Collab.
well,
Collab.
Well, yeah. I'm like, since I haven't thought of it, yeah, I'm sure you will be the brainchild of this.
I've
Thing.
seen Asmongold do it. Apparently, you just have people show up on mods, and then tell them what's good, what's bad,
Oh, okay.
and then give gold,
Hmm.
or in his case, praise, because that's all we need. Asmongold praise.
That's all I'd care for.
Life.
Maybe not as
That'll
gold
pay the
praise, but
mortgage. I'll tell you.
for him, it will. Yeah. For me, it'll take care of lunch, maybe. Or something like that.
If lunch is where are those little pudding cup things? Snack packs.
Lunchables.
Oh, dude, Lunchables. Turkey Lunchable. So, tomorrow, big day. We have a beta Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
Totally going full circle here. What do you think they're going to talk about?
I think they're going to talk about the beta. I think that.
No shit.
I think that they're going to. I think they're going to dodge a lot. I think they're going to dodge a lot of things, except for this whole thing about the global cooldown stuff. I think that's going to be the big elephant that they can't avoid, and they'll probably go ape shit.
Right.
The fans will probably go ape shit if it's not addressed. So they're going to say something about it. I have a feeling that they're not going to go back on it, at least not yet. I think that there's still more that they want to explore, especially with wanting more input from players. Now that the beta started and that there's a lot more people that can come in and take a look and see what's going on and be like, wow, this thing's total dog shit. Here's my feedback. That's actually yelling, but here's my feedback anyway. I totally expect that, and I'm probably expect a little bit more on features that haven't quite been implemented yet. At the very least, they'll say, you know what, soon we're going to test out communities, and soon we're going to test out world PvP. You know, you'll be able to queue up for this, and they'll probably have a whole schedule in mind for that.
I would love to see communities.
I'm dying to see it. That's probably the feature that I'm almost the most excited to see, and I'm the most anxious about, because it might suck.
No longer will Discord control us.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it goes without saying that Discord is still going to be like the more powerful tool to use for like, you know, cross game stuff and all that. But I think that there is a wide girth. No, not girth.
Margin?
Whatever. There's a big thingy of people that who do not give a shit and don't use third-party programs like Discord for community. Maybe they'll use it like for their guild, and maybe they'll use it to talk, and maybe they dabble in it a little bit. But right. I think communities are a great way to connect people that otherwise aren't interested in that sort of software. And the way I see it, I think that in the long run, Discord, the communities tool is going to be used kind of like a sub channel for the pre-made group finder, because right now it's super disorganized. There's not a great way to filter out things that you don't want to see, or things that you don't like, or people that you don't like. So I have a feeling that eventually there's only going to be like a couple of communities that are focused on, for example, cross-realm mythic rating or high-end mythic plus runs, where they're going to very carefully curate the people that they let in, or they'll do like an invite-only sort of thing. So that way, I think it's just a better way to create your own little group, as opposed to having like a really, really big list of battle tags and stuff. I think that would be like kind of not like the best thing to go with. But something like this has a lot of potential. I'm going to use it for like different purposes, non-sexual purposes.
Wow.
But I think it's going to be yeah. I know. I have to clarify that just in case. Okay.
Let me just back up here.
Yeah, I do plan on something like that, something small, something easy to work with. That's what more casual players can just jump right into, as if you can be an honorary member of the guild, because people like. I think people would really appreciate it if they happen to be in a decent guild. So that helps them get runs done. That helps them to like socialize and feel connected with people. As opposed to connecting with more faceless pugs that you may only run into once and will never see again because they suck or you suck and they're avoiding you.
Ooh, that's fair. I am looking forward because it is pretty much a bigger, like, cross-realm guild thing, which is gonna be nice. But I can also see people being like, "You're destroying server communities." And then we just remind them classics on its way. It's okay. You'll
It's
have
all
your
right,
name
guys.
soon.
You'll be cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Here's a
yeah.
biscuit. Here's a biscuit. I don't know why a
Everything's
biscuit.
gonna be
But
fine. Well, did you run out of cookies?
did I run out of cookies?
I don't know.
That's.
You're
I've been biting at this the entire interview.
so. Well, what are your thoughts on Classic? Let me turn this around on you for a change.
Man, the predator
Are you gonna
becomes
play?
the prey.
Are you gonna play?
Yes. I want to see what it was like. I want to see what everyone's so hyped about.
Did you mess around with like private servers and all that stuff?
Not
Are
my
you
jam.
saying that? Are you saying that just because you're
Listen, Blizzard, listen. I have not played on private servers. I don't get why people call them illegal servers, because the cops are never gonna arrest you for it.
Yeah, it's not like you're breaking the law.
No,
someone
you're breaking
else is,
a TOA
someone else is
or
doing.
something.
Yeah. You're breaking the huddubba whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not illegal per se.
Right? Like, you're not gonna walk out in handcuffs, guys. It's okay.
So when you do play, what class are you gonna roll?
I want to play Druid.
First, I should say. Okay.
I'll say Druid, because that was my first class ever. And I'm still a Druid to this day. So
I don't remember too well. Like, what was the only? They weren't very viable tanks, as I recall.
Feral
I
was
think,
a joke, and tanks were a joke, I think.
Yeah. I think it really was just like boomkin and healing. I mean,
Yep.
for the most part, if you were a class that can heal, then you were healing, and
Yeah.
that was about it. And if you were a warrior, you were a tank, and if you were a and if you weren't any of those things, you should be a warlock, so you can have a whole bunch of soul stones, and so you can summon the rest of these bastard people that don't want to walk all the way
They're
over
just
to
too
where
lazy
you're
to
at.
show up to Blackwing Lair, even though they're in Stormwind.
Yeah, absolutely. That's that's how that really is how it worked back then. For the very very few times that I've raided, so much time is spent just waiting for people to get in. They're online, they're there, but they might just be like, oh well, I need to get like the rest of the stuff for a flask, or I'm here in bumfuck nowhere, can someone summon me? And that's like, dude, the warlock's not here yet. It's like, well, okay, I guess I'm just gonna wait here till the warlock gets there, and then
Instead of like trying to make their way.
Yeah, and then the warlock gets there, and they're like, I didn't get soul shards, and then people get pissed at the warlock because apparently it's his or her duty to make up for the laziness of others.
Put him in the guild bank, like help a guy out.
They don't go in the guild bank. I mean, it was a different game back then.
Yeah, I mean,
very different.
Every XPAC's kind of a different game in a way.
That I can agree with. There are usually such huge deviations that people talk about, oh, when are we going to have like a WoW 2.0? Well, we had that, what, 2007, 2008. And then now we're on WoW. Shit, we're going to be on WoW 8.0 in like a little bit. So
Right.
that's what it is, guys. Deal with it.
Although I'm hearing Battle for Azeroth plays very similar to Legion, other than the global cooldown.
At the moment, yes, because the Azerite traits that we're seeing right now, like they suck balls.
Are they
They
just
don't add
nether like
anything to
Crucible
it.
traits?
Not exactly, because they do try to be thematic with both your class as well as what you're dealing with in game. So there are certain Azerite traits that have a little bit to do with um, the Zandalar culture or with the Kultron culture, or even like dungeons that you'll be doing. They'll like name drop certain things from that. So it kind of sets that expectation that there are going to be dungeon based Azerite traits that are based on like a boss,
Right.
and at the same time there's going to be raid based Azerite traits that are based on like raid bosses. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. It's just what we've seen so far, kind of a because they're super passive, as if it was the Netherlight Crucible, just a little bit worse because the numbers they're not quite where it should be yet. In terms of, okay, does this skill feel effective? Nah, not really, because everything's still dying so quickly. At least in my playthroughs, through the alpha and the beta and stuff.
And speaking of beta, before I forget, we have to give a shout out to Mr. GM for getting Realm First in beta.
Wasn't it for like Throne of the Four Winds or
Throne
something
of
like
the Four Winds.
I
Yep.
saw that. I was like,
I was in that
He
voice
did it.
chat with them, and they were almost the Lich King, and someone got Realm First Lich King.
Aww.
But
Fun.
yeah, the way it works right now is the stat squish hasn't hit those raids, so you can't solo them.
Oh.
So that's why everyone was like getting groups, I guess. But yeah, shout out to Mr. GM and his group for killing old content.
Well done. Well done. Merv.
Cheers to
I don't
you.
even, I keep calling them GM. I don't know how how I should be referring to them.
I just go Mr. GM, like he's a teacher.
I'll go with GM. That seemed to work out fine.
Gum.
I hope I get to see him. I hope I get to see him again at BlizzCon. I saw him very briefly.
He told me that
at last
yesterday.
year's BlizzCon. Yeah. I saw him very briefly. We talked for a few minutes, and I don't know if he posted that anywhere, but he recorded us, doing a quick 2 minutes hello sort of thing, and how's BlizzCon and all that. Do you plan on going?
Yes, but
Ooh.
it's up in the air at the moment financially. But if I can, I will.
BlizzCon ain't cheap, man. That's
Well, I'm East Coast,
it's not
so
for
I gotta
everybody.
fly. I gotta get a hotel. So
Hey, you're on the East Coast. It's April 25th. You can start marching on over. You'll be here with plenty of time to spare.
that's fair. Forrest Gump the shit out of it.
Or you can walk it too. You don't gotta rush. Like I said, you got a couple months. You got
I've been
almost
meaning to
7
see
months.
the rest of the country, so maybe I'll hitchhike my way.
I guess you could. I guess you gotta sleep sometimes too, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
sleep
didn't
when
really
a
think of that.
hitchhiker like guy picks you up.
Is that how it works?
You trust them enough to where you
Like-
sleep.
See, it's like autonomous driving is already here. You just call the stranger, just have him, be like, when I wake up, I'll just roll out of the car. It shouldn't be a
I'll
problem.
roll out of the
right?
car. I won't know where my wallet or my pants are, but I'll be out of the car.
One less kidney and all that.
Ooh, we got really dark. So, last 5 minutes. How do you want to
Cool.
wrap it up? What your topic choice?
My topic choice.
Your topic choice.
You put me on the spot here.
And 5 minutes isn't like a hard deadline. If we go over, that's fine.
What do you? Okay. So let's go with what do you expect to see? What do you expect to see in the next expansion? Or actually, let me dial that back. What do you expect to see at the end of the Battle for Azeroth?
at the end of Battle for Azeroth.
Yep, like the last tier or raid, whatever it is, last boss. How do you think this story is going to conclude?
So, I really hate to say it. I think we're only gonna be faction warring for like the first patch cycle, like how Suramar was, and then we're obviously gonna be dealing with Queen Ashara. So people are gonna know, oh, there's bigger threats. Okay, let's team up. I don't think we'll be killing any old gods. I think we'll be pushing them back at best. But I could see a raid tier that's a lower level or lower power Yogg, lower power Cthulhu with like Enzoth being the last boss. Be kind of cool to get them all in one raid. Nice little happy reunion. But I also don't know how that works lore-wise, because I think they're all trapped in different places in the world.
I think supposedly they're like trapped in different spots. They don't exactly like FaceTime each other or anything like that. I mean, yeah,
Well,
I don't
they
know
hate
if
each other, right?
I think some of them hate each other, but not so much. They're not fond of each other. I
I
don't
know
think.
they warred against each other a lot.
Yeah, they did war. They did kind of like butt heads and
Arrgh,
that sort of thing.
this land is my land. Um, so I could see us doing that, or if they want to keep the faction war going, I would love to see 2 different end raids, one for each faction, where Alliance kill Nathanos and Horde kill Gen, because I think that'd be a fair trade. Because they're both like the advisors to the leader, so to speak.
I kind of see Gen as more like the shadowy grandpa dude who's trying to manipulate things from the sidelines. That's how he reads to me. It seems like he's got beef. Like his beef with Sylvanas supersedes his
Loyalty.
his sense of loyalty and honor and all that. Like he's hellbent. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like she killed his kid,
Yep.
which is pretty grr. I would be
Yeah,
a
that's as
little
harsh
upset
as
over
it
that.
gets.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And God, imagine if like she raised his kid, like she raised him as a Forsaken, like, now I got your kid, sucker. That that'd be pretty villainy, actually, now that I think about it.
Well, doesn't
But
she mock Sourfang's kid in some way in that
yes,
beta?
yeah. There's like that little scene, which for all we know could change because I don't think we've gotten audio for
No,
that.
no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So until I hear audio, everything's always up
It's all
for
placeholder.
debate. Yeah, it's all placeholder until I can hear it,
So,
and even then,
how
that
do
could
you
change.
how do you think Battle for Azeroth will end?
I, you know, previously I would have kind of thought the same as you. It's like, oh, we're not going to kill any old gods or anything like that. But at the end of this expansion, we beat the Legion. Like we didn't just push them back or we didn't shut them down. We like destroyed them pretty much and captured their big boss guy. And now, they're probably all hanging out at their Pantheon loft, and Illidan's like, "What the fuck am I doing here?"
They're taking turns beating up Sargeras.
They're probably done with that. They're probably sharing beers and sharing stories and stuff. While Illidan's like, "What? This isn't supposed to happen this way." But yeah. Since we're able to effectively defeat the Legion, it's almost to the point where what's stopping us from defeating the old gods. But at the same time, it feels like Azeroth is in like critical condition because at least when
Right.
you're playing through the early part of the expansion, you're already seeing this evidence of wow, it's like super red alerts, Azeroth's dying, code whatever the fuck, and the sense of urgency is there, at least at that moment. But then all of a sudden you start going around Kultaras or Zandalar, depending on your faction, and you're like, all right, cool. Now I'm gonna go kill the opposite faction because screw them. But but at the same time, the world under you is like ending. So part of me thinks that something really major is going to happen towards the end, and part of me hopes that Blizzard puts to rest the idea of Azeroth is in a vulnerable state, and if it becomes corrupted, then everything ends. So I'm hoping that somehow they can alleviate that by, okay, cool, Azeroth's on light support now. We don't have to worry for like a little while. Just kind of put things on the shelf.
Right.
Hold off on the threats of the old gods taking over and corrupting stuff, because at least according to the Chronicles book, the Black Empire was a thing for a long time. So they had control of the planet for a good bit, and yet Azeroth was still doing all right. It was still doing okay. So I think it wouldn't be that much of a stretch to at least tell the old guys to shut up for a while, or even kill them or something like that. But then let time just kind of pass. Let's move on to the next thing. We kick the can. We're kicking the can down the road. We'll get to it when we get to it. Let's just do it later. Okay.
Yeah. I would like to see a scaling back of the world-ending threats. Maybe there's like the Knolls. Why can't we have a Knoll expansion?
I would love to see. So now I do want to talk feature expansion. I'd love to see like a true like villain, like just a bad guy who has aspirations, and he or she doesn't want to let anyone get in his way, and he's got a crew of dudes and dudettes that are up to like no good.
So hear me out here. Have you done the breaking Sourfang out prison scenario on the beta yet? They updated it. So you know how there's like the Hogger costume? And it's so is that canon Hogger's not dead anymore? Because she says it's all a joke. So if he's still alive...
That I haven't noticed. The whole thing about Hogger. No, that I didn't see.
Yeah, there's...
Tell me about it.
So you go... I think it's once you first break in, you're in like Hogger's cell. And you see a chick in a cage with a Hogger costume. It's a reference to last BlizzCon's costume contest winner.
Yeah,
but she goes, it was all a joke, not really Hogger, says something else that's irrelevant. And it's like, did they just say Hogger's not in the stocks? Is he still alive? Because, like, I'm surprised no one's made a video about it. Just saying. Because...
Man, I got other videos that I want to do. Now you got me wanting to talk about this a little bit. God.
Tell you what, that'll be our collab. Forget the transmog, we'll talk Hogger. Because that's what everyone wants. But no, I could see like Hogger still being out there, like rebuilding his forces that we massacred, and then just do a second raid on Stormwind.
Oh goodness, that'd be kind of fun,
right?
To see. But I would like to see some not world-ending conflicts, but nonetheless, just dangerous things that could happen. That threaten things politically. That threaten another all-out war between the Horde and Alliance, and then us, the champions, are out there to help stop things from escalating any further before these two factions like straight up self-destruct because of their endless hatred for one another. So something hokey like that would actually sell with me. If there was just like a villain who was basic, they don't need to have like the old gods at their back, and that's something that kills me. The whole idea of everything bad that happens is because of the old god influence. They're whispering in the ears, oh my god, the madness, that kind of shit. Exactly. Here's some fancy schmancy.
Tell them only that the Lich King is dead.
Yeah, see.
Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, Mike.
You're good.
He's cool. But final thoughts. Anything you want.
Sure. Anything I want, huh? Chocolate chip ice cream. No, okay. I'm going to use my last thought.
I got the chips. I got the chocolate.
I'm going to use my last moments here to thank you for having me. It was it was a real treat to hang out with other folks that's love this game as much as I do, and interact like super direct. It's different from just streams, and it's different from
Yeah.
answering comments. You know, just looking at someone's face. Hey, you know, we come from different parts of the country, and depending on who we're talking to, we come from different parts of the world. But there's that thing, that thread,
That connection.
exactly. It's like, oh, here's the World of Warcraft, and this is the thing that binds us together, and that's something. That's definitely something to celebrate. And so I just want to let you know that I appreciate you for reaching out to me and making that kind of connection. That's really cool of you.
Thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
It was fun.
Yeah, look at us appreciating each other. And we appreciate you too, chat. I know you've been kind of quiet, but that's okay.
It's all right. That's what YouTube comments are for later on.
Right? And I'm actually going to keep the stream going. I'm going to shut it down, then pick it back up for some juicy RP stories, because someone said something in the in the chat box. So
cool.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a treat.
It was a pleasure.
And stay breezy.
Stay breezy, buddy, and the rest of y'all too. Bye bye.